Hey guys, so today I'm finally getting to that haul that I've been talking about in almost every video. The one that started out as a small haul that I just kept adding to and turned into 22 books. So there we go. These are from World of Books, Book Outlet, Barnes & Noble. I think that's it. So let's just go ahead and get to it. Some of these I'm not gonna remember even what they're about. I have a terrible memory, and that's why I write notes on my books now, so I'll kind of remember, and why I prefer physical books to audiobooks. I do listen to audiobooks, but I have since I spend more time and energy on physical books when you're reading, I think it sticks a little bit better, but I also write notes on them as well. So just reading the back of a book is not gonna stick with me forever. Unless it's one that's been like jumping around social media, and I'll usually pick up whatever's popular because I kind of want to be a part of the discussions. So the first one, and the one I'm actually currently reading, is King of Sloth. I'm sure you guys have heard all the hype of the King of Sin series. I really enjoy the series. This one seems to, I'm only about, I don't know, that far in. It seems to be falling a little flat so far, but I think I felt that way in the beginning of the first two as well. The last one was my favorite one because I could connect with it a little bit better because I've been married for 16 years, and it was the story of the long-term relationship friend group. This one follows Sloane, the publicist of the girl friend group. And then the next one, which I have actually read this one. A few of these I've already read, waiting for the last of the shipments to come in of what I had ordered. So Bride, I actually already have a review video out on this one. It's about a young vampire who's used to gain political power by her dad, and she's married off to an alpha werewolf, and it's their love story. So I've already read this one as well. That's Not My Name by Megan Lally. I already have a review on this one up as well. This one is her debut novel, and it was good. It was a really good one. So it's a thriller about a young girl that wakes up bloody in a ditch. She can't remember anything, her name, nothing. A guy shows up at the police station and shows, identification, her birth certificate, a few other things, plus some photos, and he claims to be her dad. So she's released to him, and it just doesn't feel right. Back in her hometown, her boyfriend is being blamed for her being missing. And in some cases, people are blaming him for her murder, even though there's no body. This one I got because Things We Never Got Over, because I've been seeing it going around and it's been on the top lists for a while, and I've kind of just been pushing it back, and it was at, I think this one I got at Book Outlet, and so it was like $6 or $5, and I went ahead and got it because I've been wanting to read it. As far as I can tell, it's about some twins that don't get along. One's on the run, and she up and leaves, takes the other one's car and leaves her daughter there with her, and then just disappears. And there's a bartender that witnesses the whole thing, and I think there might be a love connection there. So I'm kind of excited to read that. That's kind of a bigger one. That'll be a good weekend read, I think. This next one I also got because it's on the top lists right now. I also read that it's an LGBTQ book, so I really wanted to pick it up. It's a cozy fantasy. I think there's an orc and maybe wounded in war, and they hang out in the bookshop, and there's maybe a traveler that comes in. I think there's a love connection between the orc and the traveler. Okay, the next one is Blood Dowry. It's got a wait list on Libby for a few weeks. The back it's not even. Well, that bothers me. But it's a beautiful cover. I love that style. Okay, oh, this next one is my first advanced reader copy. I'm so excited to be a part of this. And I just got this in the mail this morning before I got my other last shipment in. And I can't tell you how excited I am. I know they probably send out hundreds of books and whatever, it's nothing that special, but I'm so excited. It's Deadly Ripples. It's gonna be available September 17th. And it came with these cute little cards. One of them has a recipe for she crab soup. So I'm assuming that probably has something to do with the storyline, but that's kind of cute. We'll see if my husband will make it for me. And she wrote a note on the inside. It says, Miranda, ripples don't disappear, they seek. Yours is mystery and intrigue. And then she signed it right there. I'm so excited about this because once upon a time, a long time ago, I would have loved to have been a writer. It takes so much, and I just obviously didn't make it happen. So when I see this and read this, I'm more aware of this being somebody's dream. Then I think, you know, you kind of get lost and separate the author sometimes and just get lost in the story, which is great, that's the point. But this kind of connects me back to that, I don't know, sentimental feeling. Maybe it's corny, but I think that's a good thing, I don't know. Anyway, so it's about a girl who wants to be a writer, just like her uncle, and he's kind of her mentor, but her family, her dad wants her to take, or maybe her mom, her dad or mom wants her to take over the family business. Her uncle unexpectedly dies in a car accident, and she inherits his home. Then when she's kind of diving deeper into his accident, she realizes maybe her stories and what she's envisioning she's making happen in real life. So I could be completely wrong. I haven't read it yet. I'm just so excited to be a part of it and tell you guys about it. September 17th. And is it weird that this is the uncorrected proof, so there might be mistakes in here. And I kind of like that a little bit. It's almost like watching a live concert versus listening to it, an edited version. I feel like maybe it's just a little bit more raw, and I don't know, I'm kind of excited about it. I hope there are mistakes in there. Is that weird? That's weird, probably. Okay, next one is Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Okay, so this one came a little bit loved, and not only this, but when I opened it up, it was completely torn away all the way across from the binding. So I'd open it up and I could completely pull the book out, and then it was just connected here and here. So I did a little bit of amateur repair, so you can tell there that it's kind of, and this was in good condition at World of Books. So I think the quality control, obviously I was able to read it, but the quality control could be improved a little bit, but it's fine. I read it. It was like, this was one of the more expensive ones from there, so maybe like $12 or $14. Everybody seems to love it. I actually read a review that said it was life-changing for them. It was 2020's Book of the Year, one of their finalists. It's about a girl, Addie, who basically sells her soul to the devil for freedom and time, which ends up being a curse for her. She's not able to say her name, and nobody's able to remember her. So she's living life like a ghost, basically. And one day there's this guy in a bookstore that remembers her, and it's been 300 years and nobody's remembered her. You get to see the transformation she makes over that 300 years and the consequences of getting what she wanted, what she wished for. Okay, and then the next two are rereads, obviously. So I had to repurchase these. I only listened to the audiobook of these two, but I pre-ordered Onyx Storm that's coming out in January 25th, I think. So I can't have the physical copy of the third book in the series and not have the physical copy of, you know, the first two. So I got them in, and then I have all these books on my to be read list that I haven't read yet, and I went ahead and reread this over the weekend. So it wasn't a waste of time. I wanted a story. It had been a long week, and I wanted a story that I knew was a good love story that I could connect to. So I read this over the weekend. And if you don't know what the series is about, it's about dragons and these young adults in War College, and they bond to dragons. I can't wait for Onyx Storm to come out. I think that she's gonna just be trying to find a cure. Moving on, Dead Romantics. This is new on my to be read list, but it sounds light and funny, and what I understand, there's a love connection between a writer and a ghost. There you go. Every Summer After. This is a second chance love story. I believe this is her debut novel as well. Oh, a Radiant debut. So I think it is. Okay, so moving on. It's about a woman struggling with infertility. She's helping her best friend with her wedding. It's supposed to be funny and emotional, so I don't know how deep it goes into the infertility issues and how emotional it is. So that's all I really know about that one. Ooh, A Flicker in the Dark. I remember reading about this and being really intrigued. It's a thriller. It's about a woman who, when she was younger, in her hometown, there were some girls that went missing, and her dad ended up confessing to those murders, and so he was put away. She grows up, moves on, becomes a psychologist, maybe, I think. Maybe just a therapist, I don't know. And girls start going missing again, following the same patterns as what her supposedly dad had done. And then it says at the end, or for the second time in her life, is Chloe about to unmask a killer? Maybe herself? All right, and then Archer's Voice. This was actually, I almost read it last weekend. I started it. I even posted on my Instagram, like, I'm gonna start it. People got excited. We started talking back and forth. And this is when I stopped reading it after like 3 pages because I was in the mood for a love story that I knew, and I reread the Fourth Wing Iron Flame combo. So anyway, maybe this will be in my next couple of books, because now I'm more excited about some other books that are in, I don't know, eventually I'm gonna get to this because I am excited about it. It's about a woman who has lost her father in some sort of violent way, and it says she's a survivor, so I'm assuming whatever happened, that it happened together. And then she meets up with someone named Archer. He doesn't speak to anybody else but her, and she's able to heal and move on, I'm assuming, with her life. So I'm excited about this one because people are saying get your tissues ready. So when I'm in the mood for something emotional, I will definitely be pushing this. Reading? What was I even gonna say? Okay, and then the last one before I open the actual box is The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. And I know this is a popular one, and I was just gonna pass on it, but I read The Women and what's her other one? There's another one that I read by Kristen Hanna, and I really liked them. They were emotional, but I really connected to the characters. And so I want to start reading more of her books. So this was one that I put on the list. Also, didn't she write Firefly Lane? I think that's in one of my carts somewhere, so I'll be getting that soon too. All right, so what I was actually waiting on the reason I got these, because I have already listened to, I think 3 of them, the first 3 on audiobook. And of course this is a Court of Thorns and Roses, if you didn't already know. But I want my husband to start reviewing some books with me, and we picked out one together, and it's the first one. So he's gonna listen to it on audiobook because he doesn't ever have time to sit down and read, and I'm gonna reread it on the physical book so I can retain more of the information and take some notes. So I'm so excited, not only because I enjoyed the books, but because my husband is gonna be a part of this, and I, you know, something to connect with him with. So I'm excited. I really hope he likes it because he doesn't like, he likes complex stories. He doesn't like to waste his time on anything, you know, just like simple, cute, fluffy, nothing like that. So I don't know if this is gonna be like enough for him, but I'm excited either way. I just don't want him to have a closed mind about it. And he loves fantasy, so I'm excited to have a full series. I really thought I would like the idea of this box, like the set, but it's kind of, I don't want to say anything bad, but it feels a little bit cheaply made. Of course it's just cardboard keeping it together, but it's not like the tape is all weird. It doesn't matter. It's gonna be on my bookshelf. It doesn't matter. That's it, guys. This was my small haul that, you know, started out with a book or 2. Be watching out for me and my husband discussing A Court of Thorns and Roses together. I'm so excited about that. I have a few reviews already done on a couple of these books, so those will be coming out soon. I have some books in, like I said earlier, in some shopping carts, but they can wait a couple of weeks. At least I'm trying to hold myself off at least until the next pay period, you know, like I've got enough. I need to have some control. I've got enough books for now. So my oldest son moved out less than a year ago, and his room has just been sitting there empty, and I haven't really been doing anything with it. At one point we thought about a game room for the kids, but they never went in there. My husband already has an office that we share that I've got my exercise bike in, but I was like, you know what? I can make myself, well, I don't know if I want to call it a library or a study, but a place for all of my books. So I think that that's gonna happen soon. So I'm gonna have to budget that out, but it's just super exciting. That's like the dream for all the readers, to have your own library or study with all your books around. Everybody on here, it seems like everybody has a room dedicated to their books, but I don't. But I will soon, hopefully. I mean, you know, I'm being realistic about this. You have to have a real life, adult, responsible, budgeted way to do it. So anyway, maybe I'll take you guys along with me and record some of that as it goes along. If any of you guys have read any of these books, talk to me about it. I want to know your thoughts. And like I say in every video, whether you liked it or not, even if it's opposite of my opinion, I want to hear it. All right, I will see you guys in the next video.